Former world 100-meter record holder Asafo Powell has been banned for 18 months after being found guilty of a doping offense. Powell's ban begins from the date of his sample collection on June 21st last year during Jamaica's national trials for the World Championships. That means he's eligible to return to competition on December 20th this year. The 31-year-old sprinter tested positive for a banned stimulant at Jamaica's national trials last June and had been suspended from competition since. His doping case was disclosed in July. A panel of the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission announced their decision today in Kingston. Now, Powell plans to appeal the ban with the Court of Arbitration for Sport, calling the ruling unfair and patently unjust. Well, tomorrow starts the final round of the WICB Regional 4-day competition, with Barbados hoping to be at the top of the standings by the end. The defending champions are currently in second spot and will be going after maximum points against the Leeward Islands in the 7th and final round. The Bajans are already in Antigua, where they will face the Leewards at the Vivian Richards Cricket Ground. CBC's Marsha Boyce was at the team's final net session before their departure for their assignment.
Heading into their final round against the Leeward Islands, the plan for Barbados is simple: come away with full points.
We are going to play some good cricket because it's necessary at that point in time. I think we've got to play as hard as we possibly can, and we've got to make sure that we pick up full points from the game. I'm probably guaranteed a semi-final place already, but I think we're looking to top the table, going the best possible position into those semi-finals with good momentum. I think one of the things that we got to guard against when we do go to the Leeward Islands is complacency. The Leewards have not played very well this year, so we I think we still got to play as hard as we're playing against one of the teams who are actually playing well.
Coach Henderson Springer is hoping their good form with the bat continues, with some others getting in on the runs.
Like you've got young Carter, who haven't had a major score for the season yet. He's a bit concerned, but he's got the support of the selectors, he's got the support of his teammates, and I'm looking forward to him for the next games that we play doing really, really well. Omar Phillips was just joined the team over a couple of games. He has got a half century, he's got some good starts. But right down the line, it is good to see those guys in what I call the lower middle order doing really well. Shane Dowrich has done well with the bat. Ashley Nurse has got 100. Carlos Bradford has got a first-class 100 as well. I think if we continue, we can continue that, and they can lend support to the guys who are in the first 3 or 4. I think that we can get a big score.
Vice captain Shane Dowrich, who picked up his maiden 4-day century against Jamaica, is looking to continue contributing with the bat.
It's been a long time coming. I owe the people a lot of runs, so something I've been working towards, and just happy to get it. The guys have been playing really well for the last couple of games. The batting has been really coming on, so I think once we stick to our team plans and look to achieve what we had set up before the season, I think we will do well. We've been playing from strength to strength. Our batting, I think, has been our main focus this season, because we weren't batting well over the past couple of years, but our batting has really come on this season. And once we continue to do the basics right, I think we will do well.
Marsha Boyce, CBC Sports.
Thanks, Marsha. The other final round matches will see Guyana at home against Trinidad and Tobago, and the CCC is playing host to Jamaica. Well, work on the Bushy Park racing circuit is in high gear as final touches are being completed on the St. Philip facility ahead of next month's Top Gear Barbados Festival. CBC's Amory Burke has the update.
With just about 5 weeks away from the big Top Gear Festival, the Bushy Park racing circuit is about 80% ready.
Well, all the tracks have been finished. We have some of the outer roads to be done, but that's not a big deal because it doesn't have to be done to the tolerance levels of the track, so it'll be, we get through that a lot faster. The majority of the fencing is in place in terms of interior fencing and security fencing and fencing that's attached to the barriers, the catch fencing. That won't take long to complete. We've already decided that we're not going to put down the permanent clubhouse for the Top Gear Festival. That will come on afterwards. So we're putting in basically the permanent foundation, and we'll put a tented structure on top. So the pressure is really off in that regard. The pit building will come together very quickly because a lot of it's being constructed off-site, and it goes together like a Lego set. It's all prefab. So, again, when you look at that in 2 weeks' time, you'll be amazed at the difference.
And the track is 100% Bajan.
The reality is that the asphalt is good old Bajan asphalt. There was a lot of rumour, which we didn't really say a lot about. The fact of the matter is there are tracks all over the place that are actually looking for limestone to put in their track. The cocktail or the mix has been changed slightly so that it has more compaction resistant abilities, and it has in a slightly bigger stone. And we have some experts look at it from the states that normally do racetracks, and they actually picked that mix of all the mixes that they looked at that the contractor called Williams could supply, and they were quite pleased with that.
So as you can see, Bushy Park is getting the final touches ahead of next month's big Top Gear Festival, where Barbados will be featured on the global motor racing stage. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
Well, what was originally a women's only tournament will now be the West Indies Men's and Women's Softball Festival. In its 14th season, this year's tournament gets underway on April 18th.
It came about when Trinidad, actually most of the women teams come from Trinidad, and Trinidad unfortunately would not be in the tournament this year. They are actually organizing their own tournament in Trinidad. So then we, the organizers, sit down and we plan it and we decide that the best format to go would be to actually get some men into the tournament as well.
The tournament will be the men playing 20 overs a side and the women 15. There will also be 4 overseas teams in total, 2 from St. Vincent and 1 each from Guyana and Antigua. Another notable change will see a shift from the traditional home at Meadow Road. The festival will be preceded by the annual Terry Mears Memorial Match on April 17th. Well, some local school children will be heading to the beach next week, and it won't be for the usual vacation recreation. It's a chance for them to be introduced to kite surfing at a special week-long camp at the Silver Sands Beach, organized by the action man himself, Brian Talma. CBC's Marsha Boyce reports.
Brian Talma wants to get more juniors involved in beach culture, and this year he's staging a free camp to get the ball rolling with the help of Nash International, one of the biggest action water sport brands.
I spoke to Robbie Nash himself. He was really excited what we're doing in the Caribbean and promoting action water sports, windsurfing, kitesurfing, paddle surfing and surfing. He has donated 7 kites and 2 boards to the community, to people that need kites that may not be able to afford it, to be able to go and learn to kite surf. So next week, starting next week, Monday to Friday, there'll be a free camp for anybody from the community that can swim good. Teenager, still in school, kid, we will teach him at the Action Beach Shop. It'll be a joint project because at the same time we have to get instructors. But as I said earlier, we have 3 fellas within the program already, which I sponsor, which use our kites, that will help assist teach other people to get into kite surfing and to broaden the sport. And really, my objectives really go within the communities.
Talma says the camp is an extension of his push to develop a community-based beach industry.
I'm teaching people within the community and around further. I'm keeping people that I hope one day that this can be their job, either as a professional athlete, either as a open a business, either as an instructor, either as the world is big. But at my camp, what we also teach is a way of life. The Action Beach Shop, from the day they opened here, we had free surfboards for 3 years for the Silver Sands community to use whenever they want. We had fellas at O'Neill Marshall that came through my shop, ex-Olympian. We had fellas Andre Phillips that came through my shop, and also presently I saw him in Hawaii is a professional, one of the top professional kite surfers in the world. I feel strongly that we could produce more.
He's hoping he could discover the next Barbadian star. Marsha Boyce, CBC Sports.
Well, the camp starts on Monday at 9 in the morning.